Let me paint a picture and see if it sounds familiar. Imagine a couple. Both are educated, ambitious professionals. She works in marketing and earns around $62,000 a year. He's in IT, bringing home roughly $71,000. Together, their household income is $133,000 annually. On paper, they're doing great. That income places them comfortably within the top quarter of American households. By all conventional standards, they should be thriving. They should be steadily building wealth, maxing out retirement accounts, taking memorable vacations, and feeling confident about their financial future. But that's not their reality. Instead, they're anxious. Money feels tight. They're living paycheck to paycheck, or close enough that it doesn't really matter. Maybe they have a couple of months worth of expenses saved, and that's being optimistic. When their car needed an unexpected repair recently, the cost went straight onto a credit card. Both of them work full-time jobs, often more than full-time. They're constantly tired. During the week, they barely see each other, except for a few drained hours at night. And here's the most frustrating part. They did everything they were told to do. They earned degrees, built careers, got married, merged finances, bought a home in a good school district. They followed the script perfectly. So why does it feel like they're barely staying afloat? Why does a six-figure household feel so fragile? If you've ever looked at your combined income and thought, we make too much money to feel this broke, then a lot of what follows is going to hit close to home. My name is Gary, and I spend an unhealthy amount of time thinking about why two-income households today often feel worse off than single-income families did 50 years ago. If you and your partner are both grinding, both working hard, and still wondering why it never seems like enough, this is for you. And if this resonates, hit subscribe and give the video a like. It really helps. We've been sold a simple story. Two incomes are better than one. It sounds obvious. If one person earning $50,000 can support a family, then two people earning $50,000 each should easily support that same family, with an extra $50,000 left over for savings, investing, and wealth building. That's basic math, except that's not how it played out. What actually happened was one of the biggest financial bait and switches in modern American history, and it rarely gets talked about. There's a name for it, the two-income trap. The term was coined by Elizabeth Warren back in 2003, long before she became a senator, when she was still a Harvard professor specializing in bankruptcy law. Together with her daughter, Amelia Warren Tyagi, she studied more than 2,000 families who had filed for bankruptcy. What they discovered shocked a lot of people. Two incomes didn't make families safer, it made them more exposed. Households with two working parents were actually more likely to go bankrupt than those with a single income. Think about that. Working twice as much, bringing in two paychecks, doing everything the modern economy encourages, and still being more likely to lose everything. That's not a personal failure, that's a structural trap, and chances are you're standing right inside it. To understand how we got here, we need to rewind to around 1970. Back then, roughly 43% of women participated in the workforce. The typical middle-class family had one primary earner, usually the father, and one parent at home managing the household. And here's the part most people underestimate: that single income was genuinely sufficient. Not barely sufficient, actually sufficient. Data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics and US Census records show that the median single-income family in 1970 could afford a median-priced home while spending only about 25% of their income on housing. Their kids attended public schools that were reasonably well-funded regardless of zip code. They could cover healthcare, food, transportation, and still save money and take the occasional vacation. They had margin. They had breathing room. Most importantly, they had a backup plan. If the main breadwinner lost a job or got sick, the stay-at-home parent could enter the workforce. That second income wasn't being used. It was reserved. It functioned like an insurance policy. Now fast forward to today. Female workforce participation is closer to 57%, and it's even higher among married mothers. In more than 60% of married households with children, both parents work. What used to be an emergency backup has become the default operating mode. At the same time, household income has gone up. The median US household earned about $74,000 in 2023, which is significantly higher than in 1970 when adjusted for inflation. We are technically earning more than our parents and grandparents ever did, but costs didn't just rise, they exploded. A median home in 1970 would cost about $200,000 in today's dollars. In 2023, that figure is over $400,000. Housing prices have doubled relative to inflation. Healthcare spending per household has increased by more than 600%. Childcare, which barely existed as a major expense when one parent stayed home, now costs the average family over $11,000 per child each year. And in many cities, that number is closer to $20,000 or $30,000. College tuition has risen more than 200% since 1980. Fixed costs of being middle class have skyrocketed, while wages have crept up slowly. Every extra dollar earned by the second worker didn't create security, it got absorbed completely. The modern two-income family doesn't have double the safety of a single-income family from the past. They often have less. Their expenses expanded to consume both paychecks, and the backup plan was spent just to maintain baseline living. You might be thinking, this doesn't apply to us. We're careful. We didn't let lifestyle inflation eat our second income. Maybe, but let's walk through what usually happens. Say one partner earns $70,000 and the other earns $50,000. That $120,000 total sounds solid, but focus on that second $50,000. First come taxes. Because of progressive tax brackets, that second income is taxed at a higher marginal rate. After federal, state, and payroll taxes, that $50,000 might shrink to $32,000 or $35,000. Then comes childcare. Average daycare costs around $15,000 per child annually. 2 kids? That's $30,000. The second income is almost gone. Add commuting, gas, maintenance, depreciation, parking, maybe even a second car. Easily $8,000 per year. Now the second income is negative, and we're still not done. 2 exhausted parents mean more spending on convenience, takeout, delivery, cleaning services, lawn care, pre-made meals. These exhaustion expenses can add another $5,000 to $10,000 annually. Add it all up, and that $50,000 second income might contribute only $2,000 net for the entire year. Sometimes less, sometimes nothing at all. That's full-time work for a few dollars a day. The real danger is psychological, because the gross number looks big. Families make decisions based on it. They buy houses sized for 2 incomes, take on car payments that only work if both paychecks keep coming. The bank says yes, as long as nothing ever goes wrong, but life always goes wrong. And here's the key insight from Warren's research. The old single-income family had flexibility. The modern two-income family often doesn't. Both incomes are already fully committed. There's no reserve left to activate when something breaks. That's why dual-income households are more likely to collapse financially. Not because they're reckless, but because they're running at full capacity with zero margin. The solution isn't quitting work overnight. It's a mindset shift. Build your life on a one-income foundation. Structure your fixed expenses so they can be covered by one paycheck alone. Treat the second income as optional, even if it isn't. That second income should build wealth, not sustain survival. It requires short-term sacrifice, smaller house, fewer upgrades, ignoring social pressure. But over time, something powerful happens. Savings compound, investments grow, flexibility returns. Real security isn't about how much you earn, it's about how much margin you keep. 2 incomes aren't better than 1 if both are already spent before they arrive. If this video changed how you see your finances, hit like and subscribe for more content that challenges conventional money advice.